Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. So, after hitting Legend on the Wild Mode ladder, my focus has gone to Standard, and my target is to hit rank 2 in the May season. And this deck right here, UkendtKunstner's Anti-Meta Shaman, tremendously fun deck because it has Murlocs, and as you guys have seen previously, I used a golden Murloc Shaman to get to rank 1 on Wild, and so utilising those golden Murlocs feels sensible. And this deck is certainly an aggressive deck, but it does have some defensive capabilities in terms of Hagatha. SZAwA has the potential to replicate the 3 damage AoE from Hagatha. Swamp Queen Hagatha can give you something defensive. So, mixture of aggression and defensive plays, it makes for a very interesting and entertaining experience playing this deck. So, we're going to have a look at the deck in action on the Standard Mode ladder, my journey to rank 2. It's worth noting that Underbelly Angler is in this deck, one of the best cards, in my opinion, in the entire game. Whether you are thinking of Standard or Wild, this card is just absolutely tremendous. One copy of Acidic Swampu's teched in to beat weapon-based classes. Toxfin has proven to be incredibly useful, being able to take down big threats, big taunts very quickly and very easily, and a double Bloodlust can just finish games very, very quickly, unexpected, they don't see it coming, an easy way to get wins through this deck. So, let's start out now on my journey to rank 2. This is in the May season on the Standard Mode ladder. Okay, our first game is against a mage. Now, here come the Golden Murlocs. And I wonder, with these Golden Murlocs, is there something hidden in the code somewhere? Is there some kind of an algorithm that says, if you play Golden Murlocs, get better RNG? I wonder. But my opponent here has surprised me with a 1-drop. I'm the one that's supposed to be playing 1-drops on turn 1 and building up a board from there, but he's surprised me here. So I'm going to take a gamble, and I'm going to coin out the Angler. So, if he cannot remove the Angler, you could make the argument that we can just run away with the game. Because we have 2 1-cost Murlocs that we can play next turn, and then we'll draw 2 Murlocs to hand. That's incredible value. And he's not trading. Interesting. I would have thought that he'd have wanted to weaken that and put it to 1 health, but he didn't. Interesting. So, we've now got 3 1-cost Murlocs in our hand. This is pretty good. Let's see what we get from this Slurper. Okay. Okay, pretty good. He now has to make a choice. Does he ping off the poisonous minion or trade into it? Or does he ping and trade into the Angler? Choice there between 2 minions to deal with. Now if I were him, I'd obviously kill off the Angler. It has to die. Because look at my hand.
I wonder.
2 more 1-cost Murlocs that can be played next turn. And these golden animations, they're so beautiful. Oh, how interesting. He doesn't kill it. He leaves the Angler alive, so it will eventually die. But I'm going to be getting value. Interesting. Okay. So I'm just going to trade here. I think it's more important to keep the board clear. I'm not sure about the ordering there. Could I have done things slightly differently? Not sure. But at the very least, we've slowed him down a lot, and our hand is full of threats. So we're in a really good position here. So that trade is definitely happening. And I think we just fill the board now. We don't need to commit the other angler just yet, because we have cards in our hand.
Arena's full. Beat it.
And that is absolutely fine. So we can easily get rid of that taunt. Toxfin here, so amazing, so good. Get some damage in while we can. There's a lot of damage. And need to think about whether we commit anything else to this board or not. I don't think we need to. We have this other angler, we have Toxfin, and our mana count, our available mana, is increasing. So the chances are, when we play Toxfin and the angler, we'll get something else back to hand that we can play. So we don't have lethal here, but we are getting close. And now with that angler buffed to 5 health, he's going to really find it challenging to get rid of it. He'd need a big spell, something like a fireball, to kill it. But I wonder if his deck actually runs anything like fireball. Probably not.
You win.
And yeah, that's a pretty sweet win. Okay, heading into our next game against a rogue. Now, we have this Tidecaller in hand, and perhaps we can find a way to let it to grow, to get out of control. But I suspect it'll be shut down quite quickly. Oh, it doesn't shut it down. Okay, so may as well play out our hand here. We have a lovely curve coming up. We have the War Leader into the Hag. This is pretty good. And now he has a choice of 2 minions that he needs to kill. Both of them have poisonous, interestingly, and both have 2 health. Will he just put his face into one of those minions? Yeah, that's what he's going to do. So he doesn't have a backstab, he doesn't have an easy way to kill the Tidecaller. And I suspect that the damage output here that we're going to be able to achieve is probably now enough to just end the game. He may be able to deal with one of these minions, maybe the Tidecaller, or maybe 2. Yeah, it looks like he can deal with the Tidecaller and the War Leader.
The Brotherhood shall not fail.
Oh, he can actually deal with most of my board. But all of that early damage that we did, it's just enough, really, to end this game over the next couple of turns. And to think, this is turn 4. This is turn 4 and he's nearly dead. And as great as Van Cleef is, it's 1 minion going up against a board of multiples. Yeah, you need to trade. Oh, he's still going. Still got some firepower. Oh, there's a haha. Okay. So it's a bit awkward here with our mana, 5 mana. If we had 6, we'd be pretty happy. I'm happy to trade there, because we're just going to go wide on the board again. And we're going to make that Van Cleef trade into that 2-1. If we just draw something like Bloodlust, we'd be really happy. That's a War Leader. It's not lethal, but it's incredibly close. So, because it's not lethal, we're going to hold back. He has to kill the 3-2. And if he kills the 3-2, he gives me more Murlocs that I can just play out onto the board.
I did this!
Although it does feel like there's the possibility, the probability of some kind of a comeback here.
How can this be?
It's all dependent on what he's discovering, I think.
How can this be?
Yeah, he's thinking about it. He knows that if he kills that 3-2, he's just adding more cards to my hand. Oh, Sludge Slurper. Really, really good pickup here.
Too soon.
Most impressive.
No Bloodlust picked up yet, though. And he continues to take the damage. Okay. Bloodlust now would be lethal. No, that's not a Bloodlust. See what Sludge Slurper can give us. Okay, that's not great. Not what I was looking for. But what do we commit here? 6 mana to play with. I think we just go as wide as we can on the board. Oh, that's really good. Okay, still holding back the War Leader. In case he clears the majority of the board but leaves 1 Murloc up, then maybe we can find a way to get lethal from that.
Oh, up to no good? Me too.
Yeah, this is just game over now. He doesn't have the tools to deal with this board. As small as my minions are... Ooh, he gets an Angler. As small as these minions are on the right side of my board, he can't deal with them. Again, just giving me more tools to punish him with. And now that Van Cleef has to make a choice. But it won't be enough. Not sure why he hasn't conceded yet. Is he honestly thinking about this? Okay, we'll have a bit of fun here. See what we get. Okay, there it is. There's lethal.
Rastakan versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
You stand before King Rastakan.
Okay, our next game is against a mage. Now, I see this opening hand, and I like it. I like the Tide Caller on 1. We have an Ooze on 2 if we don't get another Murloc. War Leader on 3, Hag on 4. It's a curve worth taking. always interesting to see what your opponent will commit to deal with a Tidecaller. In this situation, it looks like 2 turns worth of pings, which is absolutely fine, because it slows him down massively. If he pings on turn 3, floats 1 mana, that's going to give me an opportunity to play the War Leader. Oh wow, he clears the whole board. His RNG from Magic Trick there, pretty amazing. Playing the War Leader on curve there I don't think would have accomplished anything, but developing a hag with 2 1/1s that are Murlocs I think is much better. Yes, we need to watch out with this opponent. His Magic Trick RNG seems to be incredible. And I don't think committing Toxfin here is needed. We'd have to potentially commit the poison effect on the 3/1 and he'd just get pinged off. But now, using the poison effect on Ziliax, I think is fine, just to preserve our 3/3. And rather than committing the War Leader here, I've developed a Totem and the Ooze. I think that's fine. It's setting us up for a wider board and maybe a Bloodlust lethal very soon. Or maybe not. Oh wow, okay. This is interesting. Snap play the Slurper there. Discovering a spell. Pretty amazing. I'll take the second Bloodlust, I think. If you use 1 copy of it, and even if it's not lethal, the second copy will be lethal. So we have to kill the Taunt Totem. We have to kill our Taunt Totem, I should say. Value trades seem sensible. The only thing that really wrecks us is AoE that does 1 damage again. Or a Sea Giant that maybe he'll Taunt up. Okay, comes that 1 damage AoE. It's a good result. And that's not such a good result for him. Snap play the Bloodlust, don't even count. Oh, and what do you know? It's actually lethal. Wow. Yeah, putting my faith in Bloodlust and getting rewarded.
You stand before King Rasta.
Okay, next game against a Druid. Once again, I see a curve, I see a 1, a 2 and a 3, it means we can count, and I'm pretty happy with that. So once again, playing the Tidecaller on turn 1, and hoping that we can do a bit of steamrolling with it. Okay, he doesn't have an answer to it.
What shall we hunt?
But he will get some trades in very soon. This is a token druid, and so we need to fight for the board. That's incredibly important. 3 damage to the face would have been wonderful, but fighting for the board I think is much, much safer. Yeah, that's a really good value trade for him there, and having Wrath available was brilliant. Cold Light Seer here feels really bad. We're only getting the health buff on 1 Murloc. But it just keeps things going on the board. Keeps the continuity going, the flow going. I think that's really important. And this is an incredibly slow turn for him. but I suspect I know what he's setting up for. I suspect a swipe is coming on turn 4. Otherwise, I don't think he would have done that. And we've played the hag here. We've played right into swipe. But I think it's a risk we have to take. Yeah. Interesting that he targeted the hag because it's got 3 attack rather than the Coalite Seer. I think that's a mistake. I think you need to remove all of the Murlocs that you can remove. So, if we play the Angler here, we give the Seer poison. Unfortunately, we don't get a Murloc we can play, but now we've created 2 targets on the board. Poisonous Minion and the Angler. Obviously, you kill off the Angler, but we may make him think about it just for a few seconds. Of course, there's every chance that he can't kill the Angler. And he can't. He will be able to do it next turn, but for now we just get our value. And this is quite disappointing. Being forced to play a 4-drop Murloc, meaning that we were 1 mana short of playing the War Leader there. What we needed was cheap Murlocs. We didn't get it, but it's fine. Providing he doesn't have another swipe, I think we're okay. Yeah. That's a wide board there that he's been able to develop, which I assume will get buffed at some point. But for now, he's on the back foot. He's the one having to do the trading. I'm the one with the initiative. Bloodlust, nowhere near lethal here, unfortunately. So we need to put ourselves in a position where we can develop as wide a board as possible. And how many Murlocs? We can play 3 Murlocs here. And buff them as well. Or buff 2 of them, rather. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, a War Leader with 5 health is going to have to work really hard to get rid of that. And you'll have noticed in the games that I've played so far with this deck that the SZAwA has not seen any play. The SZAwA is great after you've played Hagatha, but we've not needed it. Although this could be a game where it comes in handy. If we pick up Hagatha to wipe his board, and then play a SZAwA again to wipe a board. But I suspect the game will be over before we draw into Hagatha. And the question is here, do I want to push face damage or do I want to trade? I think trading is sensible. This is ultimately a battle for the board. We have to be aware of double Savage Roar, so we can't let his board grow too wide. So really this comes down to Bloodlust versus Savage Roar. And there's the swipe, of course. Can you imagine how different this game would be if he didn't have that first swipe when he had it on turn 4? If I'd been allowed to develop more of a board quicker, I suspect that Bloodlust would have finished this game already. And he's pushing face damage. Interesting. Ignores the totem. That totem sitting on the board that he's ignoring is a target for Bloodlust. It's 3 damage, essentially, sitting there on my board.
These cursed spells I give to thee!
Totemic Smash and I think Hagatha's Scheme are the most sensible options here. Bloodlust is tempting, but there's no guarantee that I'll be able to pull it off with enough minions on board. So I think the Scheme is good. given that he's playing low health minions, hopefully the scheme would be a bit of a board clear for us.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Free your mind from its bonds.
This be our neck of the
Alright,
woods.
he's going wide now. We're on the back foot here. So, if we play the horror, Hagatha's scheme does do a little bit of work. It's only a 1 damage AoE, but it does a little bit of work here. I think this is worth doing. Clear 3 things from the board. That's reasonable. And that's worth doing, particularly when you're scared of double Savage Roar.
You can be whatever you want!
And this healing totem, I think, proving to be worthwhile here. Wow, double Soul of the Forest. That feels slightly bad. And he's pushing face damage. How interesting. Yeah, double Soul of the Forest. I'm going to ignore the 1/1s. We'll kill off the 5/3 and the 2 treants that come out of it, but we'll ignore the 1/1s and we'll continue developing a board. I think that's the best strategy here.
Deloa, speak to me.
Precious!
Now, in doing this, you can get some value from the angler. Oh, that's really amazing. So this now means that our trades with the 3/3s, it means that we keep those minions alive. That's so good. And now this is the ultimate board for Bloodlust. Even if he kills off these minions, or some of them rather, we'll get some Murlocs back onto the board, and either way, we're going to have enough damage to kill him. Once again, you'll notice that the SZAwA sitting in my hand and not really doing anything. Not being needed, feeling somewhat unnecessary, perhaps. And I'm not sure what my opponent is thinking about here. Or whether he has simply rage quit, perhaps?
Let's see.
I mean, come on, you've got 2 squirrels on the board facing down these very angry looking Murlocs. Golden Murlocs as well.
Time goes short.
Yeah, this looks like a rage quit. I don't blame him.
Now how about...
I don't blame him. Okay, well, there it is. Bloodlust lethal. Don't even need to count. And there we go. Rank 2 on standard mode. Right, so UkendtKunstner's anti-meta Murloc Shaman. Tremendously fun deck to play. As you've seen in this video, this deck is very effective for ranking up with. I understand why Swamp Queen Hagatha, Hagatha the Witch, and SZAwA are in this deck. It gives the deck a bit of a defensive push when it's needed. Playing just Murlocs alone is great in terms of aggression, but if your boards get cleared, if you are just top decking Murlocs one turn after another and your opponent is still at a relatively good health total, that's just game over, right? And that is the drawback of playing a normal aggressive Murloc Shaman. But with this deck, Swamp Queen Hagatha, Hagatha the Witch, SZAwA can get you back into the game, and I assume that that's why this deck is called an anti-meta deck. Even though you've not really seen Hagatha or SZAwA get me any value in this video, I certainly understand why they're included and where they can be beneficial. Okay, so this is just a quick reminder about the giveaway that I'm doing. If you want to enter the giveaway, where there are 2 gifts of £10 each up for grabs in Blizzard Balance, watch my previous video, which was the Mechathune Warlock video where I hit Legend on Wild. And the details of the giveaway are all in that video, and the winners, both winners of the giveaway, will be revealed Sunday morning UK time at 10 AM. So do look out for that. Give yourselves a chance to win, enter the giveaway, watch the previous video. So until Sunday, do take care everyone, and I hope you all have a phenomenal weekend filled with positive Hearthstone RNG.